Alright, we're going to start off with the tools we're going to need for this job. I'm going to put all of them down below so you can see, and you can get them ready and whatnot. That way you'll have them available as you need them. Alright, the tools you're going to need for this job is a good pair of gloves. I just have these ones. They're like $2 gloves, but they work really good. Flathead screwdriver, a socket wrench with an 8mm socket right there, and of course, the gaskets. I love phone calls in the middle of working on cars. Yeah. So as we look at the engine from the passenger side, you're on the passenger side, we need to take the fuel injector wires off. This one's been broken, so I can just pull that one off. But they need to come off one by one, all 4 of them. So there's a little clip right here, and you just push it in, and towards the wire with the flathead. Lift up on it. It should come right off, as well as this. And just do that with all of them. So now we have this plug here. Goes to the, I don't know where it goes, but it needs to be taken off. Just push down on it, right there with the flathead. Pull. There it is. Okay, so right here on this side, you'll see a little red thing. You just pop that up, and it pushes that piece back. So it took a little bit of force, but once you get that clip out, push down on the little tab there, and just pull. And it should come right out like that. We don't have to take the spark plugs out, but what we're going to do is we're going to take the boots off all of them and just undo the bolt that's holding those on. Okay, so we've got the 4 bolts out. Now we just need to take them out one by one. Whoa, see, that ain't good. That's what I don't like right there. Oil all over it. See that in there? That ain't good. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. It's supposed to look like that, but it looks like that. Right here in the middle is this boot, and it's got this wire with a plug on it. It goes right into the middle, and you'll probably need to pull the boot off and then undo the clip. My clip's broken, so mine just came right out. So as we're looking at the engine, this is going to be the driver's side over here, and there's this plug here. We need to take that off. There's just a little thing underneath, right down there. You just have to use your fingers and lift that up. Or your other option is just to undo that bolt, which is what I'm going to do. So if you undo that bolt, and then this is going to be a shorter one than the rest of them, and just set that aside. And that just comes out. It's a plug. Got oil on it. And that's the easiest way, I think. So I'm just trying to get the wires moved out of the way as best I can. If that means putting them all up here, that's what I'm going to have to do. Or back here somehow. Anyway, we have to get to this piece. This is the valve cover gasket. Also, we're going to have to unplug this piece here that goes to the resonator box, and that's pretty easy. All you have to do is lift this clip up, bring it over, and then pull it off. So make sure the clip is, make sure the clip is out like that, and then you can push it back inside the little notch there. And we're going to take off both sides like that. So that goes to right back there. It's this one here. And that's exactly the same. And there it goes. I broke it. So that's what you don't want to do, is break that. I'm in a hurry, not really, but don't break that. Connects to here. Yeah, I could probably get a new one of those, but I'll just set that out of the way. I'm just gonna try and move all these wires out of the way. You know what? I'm just gonna take these off. I'm gonna take these off. I'm gonna set them over to the side in the order I take them off. So now that we got the spark plug boot off, it was just a little clip. It's easy to find. I'm just trying to move them all that way as far as I can, and just get them out of my way. Now that we have most of the valve cover exposed, there's going to be a nut on here. Mine went missing, so I'm just going to take that off, move that out of the way, and then there's a plastic piece over here, and that just pops off. And just move that out of the way, just to the left there. Now we're going to use our 8mm, and we're going to go around and loosen all the bolts. I'll show you where those are. So there's two here at the front. Make sure you have a long socket for this, because the one in the back here, right back here, is really long. So we're just going to loosen them up and make sure that we have all of them loose. So that's 3 right in between these two injectors, and then one right in the middle, and then one at the very, very end over here. You'll have to kind of push the fuel rail out of the way, if you can. Okay, now we're going to go over to this side. There's one right down here on the side where that little plastic clip was, and there we go. One in the very back, the one with the really long bolt. And then there's this big hanger right here. There's one on the other side of it. And then one, just 2 right in the middle, right there. One here, one there. There's one right here at the very middle of the right side. You'll see it, it's just like these ones poking up. Then we have one at the back here. It's kind of in the way of the wires, but we'll just loosen that one up. So there's these two in the middle as well. This one here, and then one right down here, sort of tucked inside there. Just loosen that. Loosen that one. Now that you have all those loose, it should just pop right up. So we'll try that. Perfect. And you'll kind of have to finagle it out of here sideways, just to get it out. Alright. So there's the valve cover. And none of these screws should fall out, so you're good there. Alright. So we have clean spark plug hole, semi-clean spark plug hole, semi-clean, and full of oil. That is not good. Look at this. Look at this. That's my spark plug in there. That just alright. This technically isn't part of the procedure, but since my plugs are so bad, I'm just gonna clean them. Get all the oil off of them and make sure they're just clean to go back in. So here's your thing. Now, it doesn't matter what you do to the old ones, so I'm just going to grab a flathead screwdriver and just kind of pop them out. Just make sure you don't damage the plastic around it. So there's one. Got one out. It's all stiff. You can feel it. second. This is the really bad one. This is the one that was leaking. Now we're gonna pull the big one out. This one's fairly easy. Just start anywhere you want. Let's see, find the biggest gap. Let's start right over here. Okay, and you just have to pull up. There you are. There's that one. All out. Now, how to replace the valve cover gaskets on a 2005 Ford Focus. That one's really clean. There is oil down in there, so when I start it, it's gonna blow out some smoke out the back, but compromises. I can't get something in there to clean the oil, so just burn it up, right? If I had something to get in there and scoop all that out, or like dab it, you know, to pick it up, I would, but I got nothing. And I don't even know what I would get in there. I cleaned up all the edges here, around where the gaskets go, as well as the outside. So that way the gasket sits right on there nice. While we have this apart, you can check out the interior, just make sure everything looks good. My oil needs to be changed, obviously. It's a darker color than it usually is. But just go over everything, make sure it looks all good. And mine looks good. So a little bit of oil right there I'll have to clean up, but as far as that goes, it looks pretty okay. So we're gonna use my trash can here to put the new gaskets in. Grab the 3 small ones. And this one will go here. It only goes in one way. This one, same thing. It only goes in one way. And you don't have to push them all the way in, because when it goes on the engine, it'll seal itself. This one, it's got the round part on one end. Now the big one. So we'll just look at this and look where the 2 corners are on each end, and then the rounded part goes over here, and it's going to go in. Let's see, I think it's this way. Yeah, it's this way. And when you go through another camera battery, you replace it. So I'm just making sure that it goes all the way around the edge. Make sure it's pressed in there as far as it's going to go. Make sure all the screws line up. Alright, so the new gaskets are in. Throw the gloves on and we'll put it back on. Now we just need to install this the same way we removed it. What I like to do is just put it in at an angle. And just move wires out of the way as you need. And then this side's going to be a little bit of a hassle. Just lift this up. And that hanger too. So it's centered on there now, and we just need to tighten the bolts down. So go back to your 8mm. Got my 8mm. I'm just gonna hand tighten them to begin with. I'm not even going to tighten them like in a particular order. Just getting them in there. That way they're all even. Okay, so now that I have the bolts in there, I'm going to tighten down the middle ones. That way I know those seals are good. Let's start with this one over here. Okay, so all the bolts are tight. Now, we just need to bring all the wires back over, unhook them from wherever you hooked them up at, just to hang on there. And then, it should slide right over. So we know that this one goes over here. That goes into that little hole. That goes into that hole back there. This goes into these two holes. Now if we grab this middle one here, I'm actually going to wipe that off real quick because it's gross. And then slip the boot just so you have the wire exposed, and then clip that in there. Once it's in there, push the boot on. That's the middle one. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to put this back on over here. So that goes up over that. And then the plastic one goes up over the other one there. I'm going to slide that back in that hole there. Okay, so that's clipped in there. Now I just grab the little bolt, not the longer one. These are the longer ones, and then that's the smaller one. So we'll grab the small one, and we'll just tighten that one back in there. Okay, that one's in there. It will do this plug first, put that on there. That's the one that goes in the middle. And then we'll throw the fuel injector ones on. So just, they only reach to where they can go. That one goes there, that one goes there, that one goes there, and that one goes there. Bring this piece back over. This is the big, ridiculous one. It plugs into the middle there, slides under everything, and clips in. And then just plug it in there. Once we get it plugged in, push that red thing so it locks it. Now, I'm going to put these back on in order. This one goes here. It just plugs in and goes in the hole. Plugs in, goes in the hole. Plugs in, goes in the hole. And this one plugs in and goes in the hole. Alright, so now that it's pretty much put back together, we can start putting these bolts back in. There's like 1 or 2 more things we need to do. But we'll just get these started and tighten. Okay. There's one. There's 2. There's 3. This will be the 4th and final. Alright. So those are all in there. Perfect. Now I gotta put the hose back on here. So this piece that I inevitably broke, essentially you can just replace these. Just pull this off and yeah, but I'm not gonna do that right now. So this goes underneath this piece and it clips on the back there. And then clips up here. Alright. Yeah, see that? That's a well.